morning. Excuse me. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right, good morning. I did that on purpose. Oh, hey, Bitcoin's up today. You know, something encouraging. I mean, you zoom out, you look at the weekly chart, and we're holding the 200-day on the weekly, 200-day moving average, not even getting down to the 50-day. And the amount of fear in the market is disproportional to any other time. So, I mean, I still think we're going to get to the 50-week moving average, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, maybe the 50-week moving average will rise and we'll have a wick down to it. So, hello, everyone on TikTok, everyone on YouTube, everyone watching the future on YouTube. Not that I'm live on YouTube, TikTok. I'm not live on YouTube. Wink. Good afternoon, Crowman. Apparently, I've been pronouncing lutan wrong this entire time. So somebody corrected me, said it's lutan, not Luton. Okay, good to know. Lutan. I still have some coffee. All right. Do you think the graph will at least 3x at some point? You know, but when? Are you asking for this quarter? No, it's not going to 3x this quarter. Those days are gone. So if you're willing to broaden your horizons and understand that this market is very different than where we were in 2021 and in 2017, then yes, I could see the graph 3xing, but not this quarter. Feeling optimistic for now. Yeah, man, you know, I don't think it's over. I mean, I never did. In 2024, it 5x'd. Yeah, sure. So at some point, but just not this quarter. Thoughts on AVAX? I mean, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. Wait, I'm sure the AVAX chart does not look good right now, but at some point, you know, it's getting close to sweeping the lows of this wick, at least on the chart that I'm looking at, the Coinbase chart. I would not necessarily sell right now, but I wouldn't buy either. I'd wait. Okay, so one question, are we going up from here or further down? Listen, yeah, I mean, I made a video yesterday talking about my suspicion that we are going to go down to the 50-week moving average, but I am encouraged looking at the weekly chart. So maybe we won't, but that's my perspective right now. The 50-week moving average is 102.6, or maybe as the weeks progress, we'll later on get down to the 50-week moving average, and the 50-week moving average will continue to rise. But I think that's going to hold, and I've been saying that. I think that's going to hold. So that's the worst case scenario. Do you have a future price on AVAX? I don't. I mean, sure, maybe it could go to $100 or something. I don't know. I don't have prices. I don't have many prices. If you're asking for a 2025 price on AVAX, I mean, nothing crazy, unfortunately. I was going for 7K ETH in Q4 to exit position, but I'm unsure if likely. It's very unlikely. Now, I mean, I could see Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high this year still. I could see, if that happens, you know, I could see Ethereum rallying, hitting a new all-time high maybe. But I just think after that big liquidation event we saw a couple of weeks ago, what's happened since then? It's been pretty miserable. It's just been chop. And so I think it's going to take a while to get out of this. And then where do we go? You know, I mean, listen, I would say less than 50-50 that you'd get a new all-time high for Ethereum. But I would say there's a chance for sure. Hello, Will. What is next support line if we go below 3,700 on Ethereum? And any thoughts on TAO? Let me look at ETH. Yeah, we're at a very important level for Ethereum. I really hope we don't lose that. Because, I mean, there isn't really much in terms of support until like 2,800 or so. After that, that would be my assumption. But we'll see. All right, any thoughts on TAO? TAO's been doing better than a lot of other cryptos recently. I tried shorting TAO last week. I thought it was at a level of resistance, and it wasn't. I was going to say it was, but no, it wasn't. Yeah, TAO's holding up pretty strong. It's one of those that I looking at this chart, I think if if we do see a new all-time high for Bitcoin, so do see a new all-time high for ETH, that TAO is going to do very well given how well it's held up. Could argue ETH has just turned resistance into support. 100% will. That's what I'm thinking right now. So like, I mean, I'm sure you hear $2,800. People hear $2,800, and that sounds scary. But like, Ethereum might just be holding support. It might have distributed already. It might have had some distribution, and now, it might just be holding support. Stuck in spot till I break even. Oh, until you break even? I don't think that's... I know a lot of people have that mindset. That's not my mindset. I'll take a loss anytime. Thoughts on Ethereum Classic? I'm assuming you're not going to get much out of Ethereum Classic for a while. Things need to get really hot, and when they do, like really hot, Ethereum Classic will rip really hard. But I don't... Yeah... Maybe this is the deal of the century for Ethereum Classic, but I mean, the chart doesn't look amazing. Chrono's holding 200-day and MACD about to cross bullish on daily. Okay. 200-day, I see it. All right. I see you. Q1 of 2026 more likely, or are you thinking longer? No crystal ball, obviously. I'm going to make a video with a 2026 outlook. And I don't think it really... So my outlook on 2026 doesn't really depend on what happens the rest of this quarter. So here's my general thought. Let's say we rally a little bit. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, but it's not nearly the same as Q4 of last year. Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum hits a new all-time high. I wouldn't be surprised if the first quarter of 2026 was bearish. And then even let's say we dump from here. I wouldn't be surprised if the first quarter of 2026 was bearish. And then everyone like you here saying that the bear market's here, which I disagree with. They're all like, yep, 4-year cycle, bear market. And then at some point, maybe in March, I don't know, maybe in April or something like that, everyone's expecting it to go further down, Bitcoin to 60,000, Bitcoin to 50,000, something like that. And then the market does a complete 180. And the people waiting on the sidelines for their bear market bottom Bitcoin prices just get left in the dust. That's kind of like my mindset. Either way, if we pump from here or if we go down for the rest of the quarter. So... 2027 China year for war, global disruption, fiat wars, Bitcoin to 1 million. Oh my goodness. All right. Are we in bear market? You says yes, and he's spamming a lot. So, hey, everybody, listen to you. YOOO, don't listen to me. But he's wrong. Now, we can be in a bear moment. Sure, we might be going to a bear moment, but if you're talking about bear market until 2028, you are out of your mind. No, you're not out of your mind. You're stuck in this mind virus, this 4-year cycle mind virus, when the entire economic environment is flipped from where it was in 2021. So Link is another one. It doesn't look amazing, man. It's like at some point, you know, I'd be interested to buy some Link. It's actually, I mean, it's back into a zone where there was a lot of accumulation in 2024. No, in earlier 2025. Thank you, Momo. So maybe, you know, I'd be a lot more interested in Link at like 1377, something like that. So we'll see. Question mark. Thanks for the follow. Solana, listen, you guys are asking me about certain cryptos. None of the charts look good, except for Bitcoin. You can say Bitcoin looks okay. Solana doesn't look terrible, actually, now that I'm looking at the chart. You know, you can see a rising floor ever since April. So maybe we're just going to hold this floor. That's actually kind of impressive. We'll see. I mean, if it loses this floor, though, I mean, I'd expect Solana to go down to lower 120s. Did you see Ski on Rise Up Morning Show yesterday? They should have you on sometime. I did not. I didn't know he was on it. And I don't care. I just, you know, I go live with Ski. It's not like I'm in love with going live. You know, props to those guys. Give us 3% of gold market cap, biggest alt season ever. Hey, good point. HB, thanks for the follow. What about alt ETFs? Will the market pump? Not if it played itself out like the Ethereum ETF. The Ethereum ETF was net negative for a while because of Grayscale. Grayscale unloading their ETH. But then after that, the ETFs had a huge effect on ETH. So I think it took about 6 months for the ETFs to actually like be good for Ethereum. So if we lose current floor, do you see us going lower than April bottom? For what? You know, for certain altcoins, absolutely. For Solana, no, maybe double bottom. For Bitcoin, no. No, not at all. For Ethereum, absolutely not. But there's plenty of cryptos that are below their April bottoms. So it depends on the crypto. 2026 Outlook video would be helpful for sure. Yeah, that'll come up on YouTube at some point. Trump will make a deal, then rocket. Yeah. I mean, you know, Kako. Trump always chickens out. China always chickens out. What else do we have? I mean, maybe government reopening whenever it does. Maybe end of quantitative tightening. The official end of quantitative tightening will be really bullish. There's reasons for hope. So Rob is asking about Vchain. Another one, you know, what do you want me to say? Vchain's lower than its April bottom. Could it go down to its bear market bottom? I wouldn't be surprised. If Vchain went down to its bear market bottom, and I'm not counting that wick, I'd be very interested in Vchain. So, Boss Ben, thanks for the follow. I hope Rismus gets moving soon. I have faith for November. Yeah, it's been frustrating, but listen, I have a lot of Rismus. Do you think Useless will hit $1 billion market cap at some point? Again, it depends. It depends on, I have some Useless, you know? It depends on everything. It depends on where we're going from here. At some point, sure. You know, there's always going to be euphoria and despair. I could see Useless doing something. So now we're talking about 2026. It is funny. Itachi, if you're saying that because there's something that's kind of like annoying if you're saying that because like, oh, Q4 2025 was supposed to be the mother, 2025 was supposed to be the mother of all bulls. No, Q4 2025 sucked, but Q4, just wait for Q4. And listen, I never promised you anything significant this year. I was hopeful for gains. I was especially in Q4. But like, no. And I'm reading posts on X, and they're still blaming the wrong things for why we haven't had this big pump in 2025. They are still blaming the wrong things. And I'm so tired of it. But that's the torture of being an economist over being a crypto bro. Dagger, thanks for the follow. If I don't at least 10x my money, I will pull up the Epstein files. Okay. Do you think 2028 last year for Trump will be good for crypto? Your thoughts? I mean, 2028, that's far off. Here's the deal. 2028, every time there's an election, literally after the election, the market pumps. So maybe there's some hope for that, you know. But that's what happened at the end of 2024. Thank you, Foregone, for the super chat. At least a couple weeks, month to pack our bags, question mark. I mean, I already did say some things here. It could be tomorrow. I mean, it could be tomorrow. It could be 6 months from now. I really don't have an answer for you. And if you want to ask a follow-up question, head on over to TikTok. Do see Fed meeting tomorrow and the Fed meeting next week having a significant market effect. Jordan Lindsay talking like it will. Oh, Jordan Lindsay. There's somebody you should all follow. Jordan Lindsay. I wouldn't be surprised if they put an end to quantitative tightening and we saw a nice pop in the market. Yeah. So stock market, I mean, I'm a lot more bullish for the next year for the stock market. Crypto, I think we need to play out the whole 4-year halving cycle. The people who are so married to this idea, exiting and crying so that we can pump after that and leave them on the sidelines. So get into Zcash. Will you can buy it? I'm not buying Zcash. It's had an incredible run, but I don't buy charts that look like Zcash's chart. Tommy, thanks for the follow. After 2 long years, I've just sold all my crypto break even. I was up so much a year ago. Yikes. I mean, you're ahead, Mark, of lots of other people. So lots of other people. Yeah, next week, 29th. Yep. What do you think is a good price to buy gold at? Let me answer a different question that will answer your question. People ask me, you know, let's say we do have a big crypto run at some point soon, whatever, next 6 months, within the next 6 months. Where would I put my profits? And I have an answer to that. And that is gold between $3,500 and $4,000 and silver between $35 and $40 and gold and silver miners. You know, I've exited after seeing the miners, the way they reacted to that big dump on gold. I did exit about half of my gold and silver miner position, but I'm going to reload in a major way. And to the point where that'll be much more gold, silver, and then gold and silver miners will be much more than 50% of my portfolio. And so that's kind of my mindset right now. That might change, but I do think we're going to see gold. I mean, where is gold right now? It's actually close to, 41, 46. It's making a little bit of a bounce back. I don't think it's now going to rally to new all-time high. I do think that was the peak for the year. I think it'll take 12 months for gold to consolidate. And then I mean, I'm thinking $10,000 gold this decade. So outlook for the rest of the year, I'm not expecting anything huge for the rest of the year. We can climb, but as far as like Altseason or anything crazy going on, that is not my mindset. How do you feel about Oracle coins? I mean, I like Chainlink. I'm not a huge fan of Pith. Their tokenomics suck, but I like Chainlink. Pengu thoughts? I'm sure the Pengu chart doesn't look good. I mean, it just keeps back testing a trend line. But I mean, that trend line is going down. I mean, as long as it's going to keep back testing the trend line, I mean, it's a good thing that it is holding the trend line and not losing it. But still, I mean, that can go down for a while. There is some support around 15 cents for Pengu, but I do love Pengu. Was people saying that we are in a bear market in April 2025? You said same thing for 2024 for 2025. Kovaci, I'm not sure what you're saying. Are you saying that I said 2025 was going to be an amazing year? Because I am on record actually saying the opposite. So, and actually 2025 turned out better than what I thought it was going to turn out. Can you believe that? You know, so I hope you're not lumping me in with all those people. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. But like, I was very bearish for 2025. And then I was actually pleasantly surprised with how 2025 turned out. So there were some people saying we were in the bear market, Itachi, in April. But there was not, it wasn't as loud because of the fact that, you know, we always have our big pump in the fourth quarter of the post-halving year. So not super positive message today. Bitcoin will not be the top coin XRP. All right. No 4-year cycle. It's liquidity cycle and we don't have it. We just don't have it yet. It's coming. That's exactly what I've been saying. Yeah. That is exactly what I've been saying for quite a while. Stack XLM, XRP, ADA Quant, HR Algo. Okay, ISOs. Crypto usually rises once Fed stops cutting rates, so end of next year. I mean, there's some things that there's a lot of different variables that make it like we can't nail it down perfectly, okay? But liquidity trending up, business cycle trending up, QE coming to an end. Those are all bullish. Now, when the Fed stops cutting rates, I'll be much more bullish than the cutting down. You know, cutting into weakness is not all that great. Cutting into strength is okay. So what do we do? What I'm going to do is I'm not going to assume that there's a bear market in 2026, that there's a normal bear market in 2026. When is the meeting between America and China? I have no idea. Rudy, thanks for the follow. Iwanka, thanks for the follow. Any comments at all on anything related to Swift, XRP, BlackRock, Chainlink in no particular order? No, I'm sorry, man. Like, my focus is on Ethereum right now. My focus is on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If we can see Ethereum hit a new all-time high and hold it, then let's talk about those other cryptos. Until then, I think Ethereum's going to outperform them. When they sell mortgage-backed securities to buy treasury bills, isn't that the same as QE? I mean, liquidity is rising, you know? But QT coming to an end is a signal that the market will follow more than just selling mortgage-backed securities to buy treasuries. Isn't there a crypto that follows gold? Yeah, PAXG. What about ETH5? I'm not going to look at ETH5. Meme coins movement bleeding until we see more action from the majors. Pith is not about tokenomics. The chart sucks. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, Pith, it's not like their chart is amazing. I care about tokenomics. You know, I'm looking at it. It's in a better position than a lot of other altcoins. Do you think the current negative sentiment and deep fear index low key forecast a rally higher? Not necessarily. I mean, it might. You want to buy when there's a lot of fear in the market, but let me tell you something. In January of 2022, the fear and greed index, Bitcoin fear and greed index was at 12. Bitcoin was at $44,000. It then went down to 15,000 and change after that. So take what you will with that information. Dogix, thanks for the follow. Thoughts on Velo? I'm sure the chart looks terrible. Morning, Sambo. Good to see you again. Sambo's an OG on this channel. Alex was bearish for 2025. That's true. Correct. Do you still think possible to get at least November, December 2024 highs before end of 2025? Depends on the crypto. For Bitcoin, sure. I mean, well, Bitcoin's above where it was in December of 2024. Ethereum, sure. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum got up to $4,000 at the end of 2024. Total 2, sure. You know, and then like other top 10 cryptos that have already hit new all-time highs, yes. But a bunch of the other ones are so far off from their all-time highs or even their 2024 peaks that I don't think so. Let's see. I think retail is losing faith with all the manipulation. Yeah. Maybe that's what they want. I think retail is losing faith now because the fourth quarter hasn't turned out the way that we've been hoping it would turn out. And this is supposed to be the end. So sure, there's the manipulation and all that. Yeah, that sucks. But I think the bigger thing is that the expectations were in the wrong place. That it was 2025. All of our eggs were in the 2025 basket. And like, man, no. Hey, Benji. Thoughts on Ethereum Classic? I already mentioned that. I'm just not blown away. I'm not in love with the idea of buying Ethereum Classic right now. But at some point. What do you think about Benjamin Cohen's thought process? He's been on point so far. I mean, ride the hot hand. You know, what's he saying? I think he, you know, when Ethereum went to, I've watched one video of Benjamin Cohen's this year. So one video. And the video that I watched, I liked. It was last week I watched a Benjamin Cohen video. I liked it. I liked his thought process. And what else can I say about it? All right, so I saw a tweet. I follow him on X. I saw a tweet. He called for Ethereum to go to $3,500. It did. I don't give him as much credit as he gives himself because that was we got rug pulled, you know. But okay, now that Ethereum went to $3,500, he's calling for Ethereum to go to at least $5,300. I don't know his timeline, but cool, man. You know, he's been very on point this cycle, and he thinks Ethereum, last I checked, is going to $5,300. Sounds good to me. I think it was at least $5,300. Noel, thanks for the follow. Chainlink, I'm sorry, I've already talked about Chainlink multiple times. I'll be much more interested in Chainlink around 1377. That means I don't have to sell till next year. Deferred taxes. All right. I think after they have introduced the taxes in most countries, then we will see a boom. Okay. No, I don't know what to say, but sounds good. What else? Is Pinlink done and dusted or an opportunity? There's opportunities with Pinlink at some point, but not right now. There's no hope for Pinlink. And Pinlink, there's no hope for those smaller cap market cryptos right now. At some point, there's hope. So they got a piece. That's why it's manipulated. Most influencers, not all, said 4-year cycle, hold alts for parabolic run 2025. That's right. And let me tell you, it was incredibly difficult not getting sucked into that. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I've been perfect because I'm completely honest. I was hopeful for this quarter. And I am still hopeful moving forward. I'm not as hopeful as I was in September, seeing the market, the price action right now. But like I was more hopeful for this quarter than I am now. We could still see gains this quarter. But I was not saying parabolic run for altcoins. I never said that. At some point, there will be a parabolic run for altcoins. I want you to hear that from me. At some point. But like, if all of your eggs are in the 2025 basket, Arbitrum maybe. I am. It's funny. Like, I'm hopeful right now. And then you ask me to look at certain charts and they're all depressing. I mean, Arbitrum, another one that seems to be holding up better than other ones. There's that. But man, I don't see anything happening for another 5 to 6 months personally. Maybe. You might be right about that. Most European countries are looking to introduce taxes on crypto early 2026. Okay, Shaki, I think I understand your logic here. So these countries introduce taxes, crypto pumps, people sell their crypto, they make their gains, and then these countries collect the taxes. Do you buy and sell spot or do you trade with leverage? I trade with very low leverage. I don't have a single leverage trade open right now. Yesterday, I had a 1x short on Cadena. And the reason why is because they announced that they were ceasing operations. So I was like, hey, I'll take some free money. So like when I short, it's usually just 1x. When I long, it's usually 1x, which is just the equivalent of buying spot. And if I'm feeling greedy, I'll 2x. If it wasn't for the orange man, we would have had one. Nope. We would not have. I know that is a tempting thing to say, especially if you don't like Trump. But my opinion, the opinion that I formulated going into 2025 was not respective. It didn't matter who the president was going to be. And I know Trump, I'll be honest with you in one regard. I am poorer now because Trump is president than if Kamala would have been president because of all the opportunities the market makers took to manipulate the market. So that Sunday, do you remember that Sunday? He's made it much more difficult to trade. He's made it way more difficult to trade. So that Sunday when he announced like a strategic reserve for like Cardano and XRP and Solana, and it was one day. It was like all those cryptos pumped super hard, and then they went right back down. I was in a bunch of shorts at that time, which was the logical thing to do at that time because that was before the April 7th bottom. And let me tell you, I got wrecked. That was a rough day for me. And that was a Sunday, a Sunday when I'm not supposed to be having to look at charts. That was really difficult. That was all manipulated. And then we went right back down. So like all my shorts got stopped out. And then I didn't have any shorts. I don't think I had any shorts open for the move right back down. Man, and it's stuff like that happens all the time. So like if you're just buying and holding, what I'm telling you is that like you would be in the same boat right now if Kamala was president with your altcoins. I mean, and it's okay if you disagree with me. I'm fine disagreeing. What do you think about Algo? Algo is one that I'll buy a lot of in the next bear market. Another one, chart's okay. I mean, it's holding up better than other ones. Another one, that's doing that. But it is in a clear downtrend. And so I'd rather buy when there's more of an uptrend. November, December could be bullish since they faked us out on October. Maybe. Yeah, I'm open to that. Crypto Marks and Johnny, thanks for the follow. Thoughts on Crow? Newsflash, market could go up, market could go down. Newsflash, Angus. Angus wins the award for least original comment. Hey, everybody, give Angus a hand. Least original comment ever. I must say, according to Angus, we will go up or we will go down. I must follow Angus's rules or it could go up, it could go down, bro. You don't know how many, when there is uncertainty in the market, the best thing to do is be uncertain. You loser. I am doing the right thing by presenting uncertainty because there is a lot of uncertainty right now. But oh, bro, it could go up, it could go down. Oh, so what you're saying is it could go up or it could go down. That's such a dumb comment. And you don't understand like how many times I present any kind of like uncertainty, how often people say that comment thinking that they're saying something original. It is so unoriginal. So I think I've won, Angus. I'm sorry to say I think I've won. I think you've lost. And if you cry on your pillow tonight, I understand. I understand because you just got roasted. All right, let's move on. Thoughts on Crow? Thoughts on Crow? So, I mean, somebody said, Will Johnson said, been holding a 200-day and MACD about to cross bullish on the daily. Maybe, maybe this is a good entry. I like $12 or 12.34 cents as an entry. What happened to your other account? It got banned. Somebody reported all my old videos, trying to extort money from me, and I'm not paying him. He wants me to pay him $3,000. The tariff's been driving me crazy. Yeah, they've been driving me crazy. He forgot sideways. I forgot sideways. What altcoins is worth buying at bear market bottom for most potential gains? I like the ISOs for the bear market. XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algorand. I like Render. Render has real world usage. So there's that. I'm always going to like Doge at the bear market bottom. Doge is kind of a no-brainer for bear market buying. Obviously, I mean, well, you didn't ask about Bitcoin because you mentioned altcoins. I'm going to leave it at that. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of meme coins that would just do massive gains from their bear market bottoms. Like HEEHEE, no doubt HEEHEE. Angus roast beef. LOL, just a list of S coins. Pretty much. Not gonna disagree with you. Crypto is a scam, but some of them will survive. And Cryptalk influencers don't know S about crypto. I know more than you, Coffee. I've forgotten more than you know. So, see you later. Do you like quant? I'm beginning. Not beginning. I've kind of always thought that quant was vaporware. But good tokenomics at least. I don't like the chart. Chart lost support. Can you look at Tharwa? Yeah, Tharwa looks terrible. And I'm not going to say who, but somebody gave me a call, asked me to look at Tharwa, and I was like, sure, I'll buy a little bit of Tharwa. And, I mean, given how new it is, it can go a lot lower. Your thoughts on FET? I've been saying for quite a while now that these AI cryptos, they had their big pumps and they can go lower. They can go a lot lower because they're still up big from their bear market bottoms. I mean, it's hard to say with FET because of that merge with AXGT. It's getting close actually to its bear market bottom, but it did its 100x already. So maybe now that it's actually close to its bear market bottom, I'd actually be more interested in it, but I'm going to wait even longer. On a lighter note, what's for lunch today? I don't know what my wife packed me. She packs me some side stuff. I know I see a beef jerky sticking out of my lunchbox. Every day I mix some Greek yogurt with some egg whites, a scoop of protein powder, and some mixed berries. And that gives me about 55 grams of protein and some fiber and stuff like that. So that's a part of my lunch. That's why you've been noticing, right, that, wow, Alex, you're looking awfully sexy because you've been losing a lot of weight. And yeah, thank you. I do and I have. Sorry, that's my dry humor. So Trump just pardoned CZ. Oh, dude, Trump, oh gosh, why? CZ belongs in jail. Again. All right. Treat today as a bear market, just accumulate. It's hard when stocks have been doing as well as they've been doing to accumulate things that I know are worthless. But my bags, you know. Oh, man. Anyway, what else do we have? Any Altseason in 2025? No. Bank of England supposed to be using quant. Okay. Cool. Maybe it's not vaporware. Bring on crime season. Let's do it. All right. Coach Ty, I will not name the name of the person who called me. Should have support at 0.003 for Tharwa. All right, maybe. A star, thanks for the follow. So is it stupid to be holding Tharwa then? It might be, but I'm holding, so maybe I'm stupid. I'm holding. All right, you want an answer? I'll hold. I'll just hold on to it. You never know. I mean, listen, I was a bear going into 2025. I was a contrarian. All right, and I'm saying again that I'm a contrarian. So many people saying that 2026 is supposed to be the bear market, and here I am holding a contrarian position. So I'll hold on to my Tharwa. Yeah, same. I'll hold on. Now, I did announce on Twitter, I did set some stop losses on some of my bigger bags of altcoins. And maybe I sold the bottom. That was last week. I don't know where they are in comparison to when I sold them. So I am out on certain positions, but I still have plenty of crypto. And it's as crazy as it sounds, I have a bigger bag of Rismus than anything other than Bitcoin. So I can't wait to just, I'm like pretty nervous holding it. I'm just going to, I'm going to sell $100 a day starting in November. And then if I see it pump the way that these Christmas themed coins tend to pump, I'll be out entirely. I hope it works out. I think it will. All right. Well, I'm done. I've reached I've answered every question. I like days like today where I can actually keep up with the comments. Give me a follow if you haven't already. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Even though I'm not live on YouTube, TikTok, I'm not live on YouTube. I am not live right now on World War Bitcoin. On World War Bitcoin. I'm not live. But somebody who looks a lot like me is live, and you should follow him. Subscribe to his channel. And hit the follow on TikTok, WWBTC5. I guess this is going to be my account from now on. Although Ty's sister, believe it or not, is trying to get me unbanned, and I'm going to pay her a couple $100 if she does. Did huge shopping on crypto 11 October. Hey, maybe you played it right. That sounds good. Do you hold Solnick? Yes, absolutely. Thoughts on XRP? Any chart other than Bitcoin and Ethereum doesn't look good right now. XRP is not excluded, unfortunately. But, I mean, the thing I've been saying about XRP is that it's right back down to a reaccumulation zone that it was in from November until July of, November 2024 to July of this year. So maybe it'll be all right in this zone and it'll kind of bottom out there. Tomorrow will be green. I hope so. Atrox, thank you. Brought crypto. Do you think we are transitioning into the bear market by the end of this year? I am not. I have been very clear on my opinion on that. I think that the market makers, I think that what's going to happen is that they'll convince us that we are going into the bear market, and that'll be in maybe the first quarter of 2026, and then we're gonna reverse in a major way. Nice, the OG account. Yes, DGen Queen, the OG account, World War Bitcoin. It really stinks not having that account, but other people paid this guy, which only energized him and made him go after everyone else, I will not pay him. Trump pardoned Changpeng. I have somebody mention that. Insane. Why are people telling DGen Queen to move to Chicago or move to? I've seen Chicago. I've seen Detroit. Is there some joke I'm not getting? It's like you guys glazing after. That's the word, right? Glazing. I can't keep up with you, Gen Zers. Oh, she wants to move. Okay. Oh, you're trying to. Okay. All right. The Midwest. All right. Let's see. Send Alex to Lighten. You mean Lutan? I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Benjamin Cohen said when Bitcoin dominance goes to 60%, it will pump hard well above 60. Well, he's been right about Bitcoin dominance so far. So, I mean, where's he thinking it's going to go? Because, I mean, it certainly looks bullish, Bitcoin dominance, unfortunately. I mean, I'm of the mindset it's not going to go beyond its 2025 peak, which was around 60%. And maybe he's not saying that. Watch Trump pardon SBF. Oh, please no. Thank you, Bubba Disco. Yeah, you know what? I think I am going to be done for now. I'm hungry. So can you check Bitcoin and tell me something about it? Nah. How about you watch the replay of my live stream on YouTube? Did people lose their subscription when you lost your account? I'm assuming they did. And when this account gets to 10,000 followers, I can do subscriptions again. So, all right. Yeah. DGen Queen says yes. So, hey, whenever this account gets to 10,000 followers, I'll do subscriptions again. So I'm going to be done. I watched, you said nothing. Well, sorry, LGLI. I'm sorry to break your heart. Goodbye.